Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to be going over how to get the Inazuma early. I am going to be covering everything in great detail and trying to make it as simple as possible to follow through. And I will also have a section that goes over troubleshooting, or going over parts that you may be having troubles with, so that everyone is capable of doing this glitch no matter what. Also keep in mind that it is kind of complicated, so it will take you a couple tries to get it. And if I don't cover something, then please leave a comment and I will try to reply to it. And with that said, let's just get into it. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is go to the Spiral Abyss entrance, turn to the right, and then climb up the wall. And then you want to come over to the area I go over to, and you can kind of tell where to go because there's kind of like a arrow looking thing, so you kind of see the exact spot. And then once you're there, you're going to want to line up your character with where Inazuma is. This is mostly easier with things like PC, which has a button that resets your camera to be perfectly behind you, which will make it a lot easier. First, I'm going to let it play out normally, and then we're going to go back in and I'm going to explain everything while playing the video in slow motion. Alright, I'm going to go in depth as much as possible. So first, we will click on the thinking pose. Now right after, we are pressing escape. So click, and then immediately press escape. So then once we're back in the main HUD, then we press jump. If you do it too early, then it just won't count. So you have to wait until you're in the main HUD. So right here is whenever you want to be pressing on the thinking pose. Right whenever your character is diving and whenever they're going up from the dive. So you kind of want to be like kind of early with it and try to get the thinking pose while they're going up from the dive. As you can see, like, my character is about to start going down, but it is okay. There's a pretty large window that's available, so if you're like kind of early or kind of late, it will still work fine. For me, I got a pretty nice one, but you can be later and you can be earlier. It doesn't have to be perfect, so yeah, I just want to throw that out there. So yeah, this is a good attempt. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now we're basically just walking to Inazuma. This will take somewhere around like 10-15-ish minutes. It could sometimes be longer, sometimes be shorter, but roughly I would say that the 15-minute mark is about how long it takes. So in the meantime, I'll also be going over some questions that you may be having. So yes, it does work on mobile, and yes, it does work on console. I do have the mobile footage to put up, but sadly I don't have console footage. But it does work, and there's no reason that it should fail. I would say that console is the hardest, but because it works on mobile and PC, then it should easily work on console, especially since all of them run on the same servers, so it literally has to be able to work. And I know that another thing that people will be wondering is, yes, it does in fact work with short characters, and yes, it does work with the medium-sized characters. So no matter what, if it's male, female, short, tall, trap, reverse trap, heck, if they put Yugi Moto in the game, then it'll probably work with him too, if they don't patch the glitch at that time. It works with everyone, and it works completely fine. Though, personally, in my own opinion, I think that using short characters is the hardest. And just as a point of reference, here is the footage of me trying to do the glitch once with Nahida. It took me over 8 minutes, close to 9 minutes, to actually get the glitch for the first time with Nahida. It is very complicated, and for Kuki it took me about 2 tries, and when doing it with Yelan, I did it first try. So the taller that the character is, then the higher chance that you have at actually succeeding with this glitch. So if you want a free-to-play option, then you could definitely use someone like Kaya, or Traveler, or maybe even Lisa. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there because I think that's harder if you're trying to do it with someone like Chi-Chi or Diona or any of the other smaller characters. So I definitely would recommend someone who is much taller. Alright, so here's an example of doing the first pose incorrectly. So as you can see, I'm letting Yelan fully pose, and then whenever I tried to do the second pose, you can see Yelan's feet are already off of the ground, which means that whenever we try to do the second pose, she'll immediately fall into the water and you can't do anything about it. And this is why I say that you have to press thinking pose and then immediately back out, because if you don't, then she'll just fall in the water. Now here's another example I want to show, where you can see that after I did the first pose incorrectly, you can see that she is clearly about to dive. So this is why I cannot stress enough that you have to press thinking pose and then back out immediately, or else you literally cannot do it. It will not allow you to. And with everything said, I think that's basically everything that you would have to know. It is something that relies a little bit of timing, but it's not really that complicated, especially if you've watched the whole video. Then I believe everything should have been somewhat self-explanatory. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and enjoy Inazuma.